Namaste. Welcome friends to the evening session of International Yoga Day celebrations. Those of you who joined us at the morning session had the benefit of listening to some of the leading experts in healthcare representing both modern medicine and the ancient systems like Ayurveda, who shared with us different ways that the integrative medicine can draw the best from each other for the benefit of humanity. They expressed their hope for developing an integrative approach that combines both traditions to solve chronic health issues. The theme of this session is Open Minds, Healthy Minds, and here we are very fortunate to have two really open and healthy minds. Sister Shivani of Brahma Kumaris and Ontario's Associate Minister of Mental Health and Addiction, Honorable Michael Tibollo, who will highlight and present some of out-of-the-box ideas to ensure mental wellness and avoid the trap of life-threatening addictions. I also want to thank High Commissioner Shri Ajay Biseria and Consul General of India, Mrs. Apurva Shrivastava, for joining us this evening. They both are avid yoga enthusiasts and carry a deep passion for popularizing this ancient wisdom of India. We want to thank especially Brahma Kumaris for their help organizing this session. We have a special recorded message from Sister Mohani from US and Brother Eric from Canada. And friends, may I draw your attention to the recorded greetings, then would invite our National Convener Ritesh Malik to introduce our special guest of this session, Sister Shivani and Minister Tibollo.
Namaskar. It's a pleasure to be part of this special webinar being organized by the Canada-India Foundation on the occasion of the International Day of Yoga 2021. The ancient physical, mental, spiritual practice of yoga is India's gift to humanity. Yoga helps us manage mental stress, which can otherwise have a debilitating effect on the body and mind. Yoga builds mental resilience, sharpens our concentration, and has a calming effect. It can be effective in developing a positive outlook for life. While yoga appears like a long stretch, it helps change the way you feel, the way you look, the way you move. Long-term yoga practitioners are documented to lose weight, to relieve stress, to improve immunity, and to generally enjoy better health. Yoga is not only an excellent route to physical and mental fitness, but also to spiritual well-being. The effectiveness of yoga is demonstrated by its growing appeal in millions of practitioners in India and across the world, including the ever-increasing following in Canada. In view of yoga's growing popularity and appeal, the United Nations in 2014 declared 21st June as the International Day of Yoga. This year, for the 7th edition of the International Day of Yoga, we have added the challenge of maintaining proper social distancing while indulging in yoga activities. To celebrate this year's International Day of Yoga under the theme of Yoga for Wellness, most of us have to practice yoga perhaps from the safety and comfort of our homes. The theme of today's program, Open Minds, Healthy Minds, is timely to say the least, as societies across the globe are gradually moving towards normalcy after a ravaging pandemic that impacted everyone's life and everyday life. I would like to appreciate the presence of Honorable Michael Tibollo, Ontario's Associate Minister of Mental Health and Addictions, of Sister Shivani of the Brahma Kumaris, and of course of Shri Satish Thakkar and Shri Ritesh Malik of the Canada-India Foundation for organizing this wonderful event. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Om Shanti. We all are celebrating Day of Yoga worldwide. Everyone understands yoga in their own way, but always remember that one is Hatha Yoga and this one is heart, from heart yoga. That means you are with love connecting with God, the Supreme. Because yoga means connection, relationship. So knowing yourself as a very sparkling, beautiful point of light and energy, soul, and connecting with everyone else also as soul. So we are all brothers, one family. And God the Supreme, who is also a soul, Supreme Soul, I connect with God, Supreme Soul. So yoga actually is love for God. Love in the mind, love for intellect. So the forehead actually is the seat for the driver, right? Like in the car. So soul is sitting there and drives this body as a vehicle, as a car. And when soul has to be charged, then soul connects through the mind, loveful thoughts for God. So we create such beautiful vibrations and a space so sacred that we can create the presence of God. Because holiness is definitely one of the main attraction or power for God to be present. So we invoke God and with love think of Him. I know that I have all relationships with Him as parents, as my friend, as guide. So have very beautiful, pure thoughts. Create a very clean and sacred space within so that I sit there, but also I invoke and bring God's presence also. So it really needs a sacred space. Om Shanti.
Namaste, and a very, very special and warm greeting to each and every one. It's really a privilege to be able to join the Canada India Foundation once again to celebrate the International Day of Yoga. And on behalf of all the Brahma Kumari centers in Canada, just wanted to really extend the good wishes, because it's very important that we come together more than ever to unite our thoughts, our hearts, and create a space where we can address these issues of health that are so important. We just go through a whole year of pandemic, and of course the notion of health comes to our mind. But we know through the practice of yoga and with the teachings of Raj Yoga, the Brahma Kumaris, we know that yoga takes us into such a deep state of mind, a deep space within the self, where health is not just, of course, state of the body, but it becomes a state of mind, a consciousness. And it's beautiful that yoga can be known across the world today and bring people to the awareness that we can recreate a healthy mind, a healthy vision, a healthy attitude, healthy relationships, and yes, healthy bodies as well. So just again, my best wishes to each and every one. And let's celebrate not only the International Day of Yoga, but also the deep desire of each and everyone to maintain health at all levels, so we can also create health for the world in our relationships and in the feelings that we have for each and every one. So look forward to listen to the rest of the program, and I'm sure it will be very enlightening and very healing in a way. Namaste and Om Shanti.
Namaskar. My best wishes to all of you on the 7th International Day of Yoga. As the world grapples with the pandemic, it has changed the way we look at health and living. The ancient technique of yoga is a means to boost immunity and improve overall health and well-being. Yoga means samatvam yog uchyate, that is, staying steadfast in every situation, be it favorable or unfavorable, success or failure, joy or sorrow. Yoga is not merely physical practice, It is a way of living that aims towards a healthy mind in a healthy body. It gives us a holistic understanding of balanced living by lending harmony to the body, mind, and intellect. I would like to congratulate Canada India Foundation for emphasizing on the spiritual and mental aspect of yoga by organizing this extremely enriching discussion. I also take this opportunity to thank Minister Tibolo for his insights and support, and above all to Sister Shivani and Brahma Kumaris for being with us today. We hope to have Sister Shivani with us next year in person. I look forward to the stimulating discussion on mental health. Best wishes once again on International Day of Yoga 2021. Stay safe, stay healthy, and practice yoga.
Namaste and good evening everyone. I have the very special privilege of introducing two of my favorite people here. Honorable Minister Michael Tibolo is currently guiding the critical portfolio of mental health and addictions in the Doug Ford government. A recipient of numerous awards for his work in the community, he is the founder of the Festival of Light, an annual multicultural festival celebrating diversity of culture and religion in Canada. Michael is also the honorary chairman of the Caritas School of Life, a residential therapeutic community that provides services to men suffering from mental health and addiction problems. After holding many other important portfolios, Minister Tibolo is at a place that must give him the most personal satisfaction. He has always been an active voice encouraging better outcomes for those in the grip of mental illness and addictions. What is even more encouraging is that Minister Tibolo is totally open and welcoming to new ideas stemming from centuries-old, time-proven yogic principles of India. And let us also welcome to the platform Sister Shivani of the Brahma Kumaris organization. Without a doubt, Sister Shivani is one of the highest regarded and sought after speakers today, spreading the message of Raj Yoga meditation to the wider world. Sister Shivani is a widely traveled spiritual leader who has touched the hearts, souls, and minds of hundreds of thousands of people across the world during her decades-long service to humanity. In 2017, she was named Goodwill Ambassador by the World Psychiatric Association. Sister Shivani's conversation with Bollywood star Suresh Oberoi led to the publication of the book titled Happiness Unlimited: Awakening with Brahma Kumaris. We look forward to these two stalwarts exchange their views and hopes on how to deal with mental illness and addictions by developing open minds that lead to healthy minds. Let us all listen. Minister Tibolo, the mic is all yours.
Hello, everyone. It is truly a pleasure for me to be here today. And before we begin, I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional territory from which this broadcast will be aired and speak of them. So we are at the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nation, the Anishinaabe of the Williams Treaty First Nations, the Huron-Wendat, and the Métis Nation. And I would like to now welcome, it is truly an honor for me to welcome and to introduce Brahma Kumari Shivani, also known as Sister Shivani, or BK Shivani, and she is a teacher in the Brahma Kumara spiritual movement in India. She is an accomplished author, a spiritual leader, and in 2017 was named a Goodwill Ambassador of the World Psychiatric Association. With her own YouTube channel, she has millions of followers around the world that listen and follow her sage advice. I'd like to begin also by acknowledging the Canada India Foundation, Brahma Kumaris, and the Council General of India in Toronto for helping create this evening, and specifically Council General Apurva Srivastava, Satish Thakar, Ritesh Malik from the Canada India Foundation, Brother Eric, and Sister Shobana. Sister Shivani, it is truly a pleasure for me to welcome you to Canada via Zoom, but to welcome you to our lovely country.
Om Shanti and greetings of peace from India.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to connect with you. It doesn't feel it's virtual. It feels as if we are meeting one-on-one. It's the vibrational connect.
I think so. That is such an amazing, the work that you do, I'm extremely interested in, because in my world, they tell you to take 2 pills, go home, take some rest, and tomorrow you'll feel better. You have a very different approach from the things that I've seen and heard about how to have that inner health, the physical and of course the mental, which is what we're going to speak a little bit about today. Could you give me a little bit of background about the teachings, the Brahma Kumaris way of life, because it's a way of life, it's a way of health, right? If you can give us a little bit of detail about it.
The way of life which takes priority here. See, right now, if we see for the last few decades, our priority is always the outer world. So it's about taking care of family, taking care of work, taking care of society. And when it comes to the self, it's taking care of the body. So that's where the self ends. But we were never thinking and talking about taking care of the self. The self is here. When this life leaves, we call this a dead body. You see, if someone is taken in for a surgery, the doctor will say, "Sister, take Mr. So-and-so inside." In case things don't go right, the doctor will say, "Sister, take the body out." So when the person is taken inside, it's Mr. So-and-so. If the life leaves, the body is out. So it's that life, the energy. So spirituality means taking care of that energy, which we can call by different words. We can call it energy, we can call it consciousness, we can call it light, power, soul, spirit. Those are just words. Important is to just understand, I'm not just this body. I am this energy. And this energy is the creator of every thought, feeling, intention. And this energy decides what I speak. And this energy decides how I behave, how I live, how I work. So really everything is happening from here. It's like the energy center of a city, the energy center of a house. If that energy center doesn't work properly, nothing works properly. Nothing works properly. And yet we are not focusing on that energy center. So our mental health issues, our physical health issues, our relationships, our environmental health issues are actually from here. Because every thought we create, every thought, and on an average we are creating about 70 to 80,000 thoughts in a day. That's what doctors teach us. So 70 to 80,000 thoughts in a day, it's a vibration, it's an energy. So the thought is not going to stay in my head, it vibrates. So it affects my feelings, so that's mental health. My every thought radiates to my body, affects my physical health. So however good may be my diet, my exercise regime, if I'm not thinking right, if I'm not creating the right emotions, I still don't have the best of physical health. And my every thought radiates to people, creates my relationships, and my every thought radiates to environment. And so even environmental health is influenced from here. So spirituality just teaches us to come to the core, the center, take care of the inner world. The outer world will start getting taken care of. But if we take care only of the outer world without taking care of the inner world, we are not reaching the solution.
Absolutely.
We're not reaching the solution.
Well, sister,
yes.
that's here in Ontario, as the Minister of Mental Health and Addictions, I always say that without mental health, you can't have health. So
Yes.
that vibration, that energy, how do you feed it? Because energy needs to be fed, otherwise eventually it evaporates and there's no energy left. So how do you nourish that spirituality?
Every thought we create, so we all can feel our vibrations. You can feel how you're feeling today. Sometimes we say, I'm feeling very low today. Sometimes we say, I don't feel like meeting anybody today. The word feeling is there always. Sometimes we go to a place and say, I'm feeling very nice in this place. It's good energy. We meet people, we say, I'm feeling very good vibes from this person. Sometimes we say, I'm not feeling good vibes from this person. So we can feel the vibration. Important is to take care of the quality of the energy that I'm creating. So feeling is after I've created thoughts. So when I create a thought, suppose I met you this morning and I create a thought, wonderful soul, very pure intention, very powerful mission. So this is my thought that I am creating. Once I start creating this thought about you, I will feel nice to connect with you. So the feeling is the second stage. The first stage is the thought. Now, where does the thought get created from? The source of our thoughts is the information we consume. One. Second, our past experiences. And third, our belief systems. Belief system means, do I believe that stress is normal? Do I believe anger is necessary? These are my belief systems. Do I believe life is a competition? Do I believe that I have to be better than other people? These are belief systems. And these belief systems create my thoughts. So information, past experiences, belief systems create my thoughts. Now, this is where it's most important, that information. Information is the content we consume. So a very important equation is everything I watch, everything I read, everything I listen is who I become. So content is equal to personality. So if we look at it in the last few decades, we are suddenly flooded with content. When I was in school, I did not have a mobile. It was still not there in India, I think. I didn't have a mobile. We didn't have internet in school. So we're going to 30, 35 years back. No mobile, no internet, no computers, the first television. So we were not talking depression. We were not talking anxiety. In fact, we were not even talking stress. Stress was just in physics, pressure divided by resilience. Then as we got flooded with content, technology, which made our life extremely comfortable, but we were not using it the right way. The phone makes our life extremely comfortable, but we hold on to it as if we can't live without it. We sleep with it, we wake up with it. In the middle of the night also, we will scroll it. Now that is what has started taking toll on the mind. And if this energy center gets affected by this content, because it will, then everything else starts getting affected. So I always feel it is content is equal to personality is equal to destiny. So if we take care of the content, personality and destiny starts getting taken care of.
And you use a wonderful analogy that I'm hoping you can explain with the recharging the cell phone battery and how important it is. So could you explain that for the people listening to us and why that's important from the standpoint of allowing that energy to reform or recreate so that you have that ability going forward?
In the last few years, we've seen a steep rise in mental health issues. Even in India, you've seen it in Canada, and I think it's all over the world. But in the last year, it went even higher. It is, doctors last month were saying it's no more about anxiety, it's about an anxiety disorder now. So it's no more an emotion, it is a mental health issue. So now we need to ask ourselves, COVID was a physical health issue. We knew how to protect ourselves. We were all taking care. What is the connection between mental health and COVID? COVID could not do anything here. It can only affect the body. But what was the issue was my emotional health. Emotional health means my coping skill with the situation which was not my way. So the coping skill, and COVID is a global situation, but we all have personal situations, we have family situations, we have professional situations. So every time there is a situation, I have to respond. We respond to every situation. One response is a thought, second response is a word, and third response is a behavior. Now, before COVID also, we were living a life where we believed that our internal response is dependent on the quality of the situation and people's behavior. This is a life of emotional dependence, where I live my life saying, I'm angry because of this person. I'm in pain because of this person. This person is very irritating. I'm stressed because of this situation at work. This vocabulary, which we were kind of conditioned and talked about while we were growing up, this vocabulary was saying that everything that's happening in the outer world is creating my inner world. So I'm upset because of someone, I'm hurt because of someone, I'm happy because of something. So whether it's happiness or sadness, it was something to do with the outside world. So we thought inner world is dependent on the outer world. This is the biggest illusion. And this is actually the biggest mistake we've made, because then my mind is always dependent on the world. And then I need my world to be perfect. So I need my spouse to be perfect, my children to be perfect, my parents to be perfect, my colleagues to be perfect, and perfect according to my definition of perfect. I need them to be perfect according to me. And when they are not my way, or when my situation is not my way, I started creating hurt, pain, anger, sometimes even hatred. I got into the habit of complaining, not being contented, criticizing, fear. So this is low emotional health. So if I visualize this like a battery, it's not a battery, but we visualize it like we are able to see our phone battery or our laptop battery. We know where we stand and we know when I need to connect it and get charged before it shuts down. I don't want it to shut down, so I will charge my technology. Similarly, if I could see this battery, then I would know, where am I? Is it 4 lines, 3 lines, 2 lines? Where is this battery? But because I cannot see it, I keep living my life reacting to situations, depleting my energy. Every time I'm creating these negative emotions, I'm depleting this battery. And then suddenly comes a situation in my life, like COVID was a situation. And this battery, which was already at probably 2 or 1, suddenly got hit by a bigger situation. And I did not have the strength to face it. And from 2, I went to 1 line. And when I went to 1 line, there became chances of tipping to a mental health issue. So it was no more an emotional health issue, it became a mental health issue. If we take care of charging this battery on a daily basis, like we charge all our technology, then situations will be outside, may not always be perfect, but I am the creator of my every thought and feeling. We have to hold on to this every day. We cannot live a life of blame. We take a life of self-responsibility. I am the creator of my every thought and feeling. So let's start it with the tiny situations of the day. Someone saying something to you which you don't like, someone behaving a different way. Just take charge of your mind in those little insignificant situations of the day. Respond right. Respond right, respond healthy, which means if they are doing something which is not right, I have to be calm and respectful in my response. That will conserve my battery here. If I react, if I shout, if I snap, these are simple things. I am depleting my battery. So in every scene, we take care, am I conserving my health or am I depleting my health? And very soon it becomes a natural way of living. Forgiveness will become natural, letting go of the past will become natural, and then this battery will remain energized, and then we will not tip off to an addiction or to a mental health issue. We will not, if we take care of our emotional health. And there are simple lifestyle habits that we follow to take care of this emotional health.
Could you tell us some of them? Because I was fascinated to hear how you start your day and the time that you have to dedicate to the mind, to the ability of allowing it to wake up. Could you describe a typical day, how we should be living our lives? Because I think in the West, and I found it humorous, and I'm listening to you, and I know how bad our habits are, including my own. But listening to you, it's so logical, and you think being, educated, we'd understand these things. But could you maybe help explain a day and how we should begin and how that will improve our overall outlook and the energy that we have during the day?
The energizing of the mind and the body is happening during our sleep. So sleep is a very important factor for mental health issues and for physical health issues. What has happened in the last few decades, again, since the time we have all these technology toys with us, we have started compromising on our sleep cycle. When we didn't have all these toys, we would go to sleep normal, come back from work, nothing much to do at home, read a good book, spend time with family, and then we would automatically go to sleep early. It was a natural way of living. Nobody taught us that. It would just happen on its own. And when we sleep at the right time, in the right way, then there is a lot of healing that happens during our sleep. So the sleep is for processing everything that's going on in the mind, giving the mind answers, resting the mind, and then going into the delta stage of sleep, which is the deep sleep where the energizing happens. So it's the delta stage. In one sleep cycle, which means at one stretch when I sleep in the night, we will go into 2 sleep cycles, 2 delta stages. And those 2 delta stages are enough to energize us for the rest of the day. And the healing of the body also happens during the sleep. So healing of every organ. Now, for that, what we need to do is, 1, sleep early. You know, when we were in school, we were taught early to bed, early to rise, makes a person healthy, wealthy, wise. I don't know whether they teach that in school anymore, because most of the children keep studying late night and they keep studying during the night, and then they're going to sleep in the morning. Anything that we do which is not as per nature, it's not as per nature, we are going against nature. It will start taking a toll over a period of time. So the best time to be asleep is 10 to 2. That's another science. That 10 to 2 is the energizing of the mind and the body. If instead of 10, I sleep at 11, I lost 1 out of the 4 hours. If I sleep at 12, I lost 2. And if I sleep at 2, even if I sleep 8 hours after 2 o'clock, I've lost the best time of energizing. So now priority has to be set right. Now, if I'm going to decide to sleep at 10, at 8 o'clock, which means 2 hours before I sleep, or around 7:30, I have to finish my dinner so that my digestion happens before I go to sleep. So during my sleep, the body doesn't have to digest. So the body only focuses on healing. So, energy can do only one thing at a time. If I sleep and just have a heavy meal before I go to sleep, then the next few hours, that 10 to 2 time, which was for energizing, will go in digestion. And if the body is only doing the digestion during those 4 hours, then the body doesn't get time to heal. And so over a period of time, hypertension, diabetes, cardiac issues, digestion had not happened before sleeping. So the best time is at least 2.5 hours before sleeping, dinner, and a lighter dinner. A lighter dinner, so that it digests quickly and then the body is only into the healing mode. Now, same thing with the mind. Because of our technology, we are connected to our work till we go to sleep. So we are checking work emails, we are checking work messages, we are having business calls, we're doing everything till we close our eyes. Even while closing our eyes, we will scroll once again. Any new message, any new email. Now, if I consume all this, my work-related communication till I go to sleep, then my mind is in the beta plus stage, which means the hyperactive stage. But because the body is tired, I will fall off to sleep. But my mind has got so much to think about. So the next couple of hours, the mind will be processing all that information. When we wake up in the morning, we will not feel fresh and energetic. And some people, if you see them in the morning on the way to work, I love to look at faces on the highway and just keep looking at faces early morning. How happy are they? And how healthy do they look? And how energetic are they? Many people look very tired early in the morning. You can't make out whether they're going to work or returning from work. The faces look very tired early morning, not slept right. Look at us on a flight. We can go off to sleep in the mornings. How can someone go to sleep in the morning if they've slept in the night? So another epidemic that we have is sleep deprived. We are a sleep deprived generation, which is a cause of mental health issues also. So 10 o'clock to sleep, 2 hours before sleeping, disconnect from work communication. We can put everything for next morning, emails, messages, phone calls. Leave it only for a crisis when there is an urgency, which is very rare. Next, at least 1 hour before, disconnect from all other media, which means movies, serials, books which would stimulate the mind, and definitely not the world news. It is toxic to consume the world news before going to sleep. You can't harm yourself any way more than that. By just consuming all the visuals, all the information, everything that we are consuming. It's real. We need to know about it, but not before going to sleep. Because then my mind will be flooded with all that, not just the visual, but the emotion of the visual. So the emotion of death, the disease, the terror, everything. that's not what you give to the mind before going to sleep. So 2 hours before, disconnect from the world news. Now, the last hour should be spent in a way which starts slowing down the mind. So you slow down the mind before we go to bed. So a good book, a self-transformational book, soothing music, a diary writing. It's very good to write a diary on a daily basis, daily journaling. So you release your emotions before you go to sleep. Then we meditate before we sleep, at least for 10 minutes. Surrender everything to the Supreme, clean the mind, forgive people before going to sleep. If there was anything that happened during the day, please forgive people before going to sleep, and please ask for forgiveness before going to sleep. In your mind, it's only happening in the mind. If I do not forgive or ask for forgiveness before going to sleep, and I go to sleep with that emotional wound, then it's no more on the top layer of the mind. During my sleep, it goes deep into the subconscious. And that's where we are holding on to the past for years, because we went to sleep with it. So the regime before sleeping is very important. Daily journal, release it, forgive people, ask for forgiveness, anything troubling your mind, counsel yourself. Write the answer to yourself, right, like you would counsel a friend. And then at least 15 minutes before sleeping, consume a healthy emotional diet, which means spiritual content, self-transformation book, anything that you like, but it should be a high vibrational emotional diet, which means content which is full of compassion, faith, divinity, purity, power, love, acceptance, gratitude, everything that I want to become. I need to consume for 15 minutes before I go to sleep. So now that is the information that will get processed by my mind, radiate to my body during the 6 hours of sleep. If I sleep like this way, slowing down my mind before I go to sleep, then I will naturally wake up early. So we gain on time by sleeping the right way. By sleeping the right way, I would not need more than 6 hours of sleep. Anybody can experiment, and you will naturally wake up between 4 and 5 a.m. And that is the highest vibrational time of the 24-hour cycle, the 4 to 5 a.m. Even today, people are talking of the 5 a.m. leadership club. So why do they want leaders to wake up at 5 a.m.? Creativity is highest, intuition power is highest. Anything that's on your mind, you would get a solution at that time. So waking up early, 1 hour after we wake up, again not connecting to the world. Blotting paper, the mind is like a blotting paper. Absorption power highest. Don't put the world onto the mind first thing in the morning. We have the rest of the day for the world. This hour is for energizing the self. Again, 15 to 20 minutes at least of meditation. Second, at least 20 minutes of a healthy emotional diet. Just flood your mind with a healthy emotional diet, 20 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the night. Restrict content consumption during the day. Don't just keep on mindlessly scrolling and saying this is a time pass. It is toxic, it's affecting our destiny. So restrict content consumption from all media platforms. During the day, take care of your behavior. Because we've energized ourselves, it's going to be easy. Take care that you're responding right to every situation. Anger, aggression, irritation, absolutely a no-no. Make your office a no-anger zone. Make your school and college a no-anger zone. Finally, make your city a no-anger zone. It will save a lot of lives. It will really save a lot of people's lives. So, simple lifestyle habits during the day, taking care of how we are responding, being respectful, compassionate. Please remember, we're not doing a favor to the other person. We're doing it purely for our health, and taking care of the food we eat. So that is also another factor which affects the mind.
Yes, and you speak of that. I believe it's the 4 or the 5 principles: the sattvic money, the sattvic food, the mind. Yes. Could you elaborate a little bit on that for the people listening as well? What you mean by that?
There are 4 energies. In Hindi, the words are very beautifully connected. It's dhan, which means money. Then an means food. Then man, the mind. and then tan, body. So these are 4 connected energies. So the money we earn is the first energy that enters into the house. Money is not just currency with which we buy things. Money is energy of the way we earned that money. So now what's happened in society, priority is how much I earn. Priority should not be how much I earn. Priority should be how I earn. Because what I earn only buys me physical comforts. How I earn affects my mind and the minds of my family, because that money is used to buy the food, it's used for the education of your children. So money should be earned with blessings, which means ethical working, right working, being compassionate to people who you're working with. You can't just shout at people and get work done. Then you will have their pain coming with your earning every day. And if you're into business, put the other person's benefit important even more than your benefit, which means think about the client before yourself. Don't prioritize, okay, what will I get out of it? What will they get out of it? What will they benefit? When they benefit, I earn blessings. And when we earn blessings, we earn more money than we had ever imagined, because blessings give us trust, they give us love and acceptance of the client. We earn much more. But most important, we also earn peace of mind. We also earn beautiful relationships. So dhan, the money we earn, needs to be sattvic, which means high vibrational energy with the money. Then the food we eat. So if the money is not right, the food bought with that money will also get affected. So it has to go in all the 4 steps. Then the food we eat is a plant-based diet, because the vibrations of the food affect our mind. We are what we eat. We are what we eat doesn't only mean that the body is what we eat. It is I am what I eat, not my body is what I eat. It is I am what I eat. Again, in Hindi, the line is simpler. It is Jaisa an, Vaisa man, which means as is the food, so is the mind. It's very clear. As is the food, so is the mind. So food is not just nutrients, minerals, vitamins, carbohydrates. We're so conscious about the minerals now that and all the proteins that we are consuming, and we have a diet chart, which is good. But food is not just nutrients. Food is vibration. So when we have an animal-based diet, we just need to go and look at a video online to see what the animal is going through before they come on our plate. We will know the vibration of the food. There is hurt, there is pain, there is helplessness, there's hatred, then there is fear, then there is violence, and then there is death. These are all the emotions that are getting created. And then there's death. Death can never give health. A death of someone cannot give health to me. It can give me proteins. Proteins doesn't equal to health. Proteins is just one nutrient of the body, which I can easily get from a plant-based diet. So an animal-based diet is a total no-no, absolute no-no for healing of the mind and the body. Another principle of sattvic diet is the way it is cooked. So if I just have a plant-based diet, that's not the highest vibrational diet. The way I am cooking it. If I'm in stress while I'm cooking my food, if I'm angry with someone and I'm cooking my food, if I'm hurt, I'm crying and I'm cooking my food, that food should not be eaten. We should not eat that food because all that pain vibrations has gone in that food. So the kitchen is a place from where the minds of the family can be influenced. So high energy words need to play in the kitchen, which means prayers, hymns, spiritual songs. Let it just play gently in the background in the kitchen. Every word will energize the food and the water. So food and water vibration is very important. So while cooking, the mind needs to be very calm and peaceful. So how I earn, what I eat, how it's cooked, and then how I eat. Now, when we eat food, there are 3 ways. 1, food that is cooked in the remembrance of God. We call that prasad. In the temples, in the gurdwaras, if you come, you will always get something to eat over there. So it's cooked in the remembrance of the divine. Second is food that is cooked in the remembrance of the family. Oh, my children will eat this, my spouse will eat this. We love for the family we are cooking. And third is food that is cooked for business. It's with the intention of profit. You eat, I earn. Now that's a very different energy that goes into the food. So as far as possible, eat home cooked food. Buy food only when it's absolutely necessary, like when you're traveling or something. But don't sit at home and order food. Nobody orders food sitting at home, but that's what we've started doing nowadays. We order food. So we are eating a lot of food which is cooked with the intention of profit, which is cooked for business, not the best vibration for the mind. And we don't know who's cooking. What is their state of mind while they're cooking? That will also affect my state of mind. So how it's being cooked is very important. And third, how to eat. Make it a culture at home. No phone, no TV while eating. We're not going to have the plate in one hand and the remote control of the television in the other hand. Eating is not some side business. Eating is like a ritual for energizing the mind and the body. So mindful eating practices, not distracted eating. Nowadays, little kids, even 2-year-old children, the dinner plate and the screen stand there. They're watching cartoon shows and they're eating. They're practicing distracted eating from that age of 2 and 3. This is another thing that you will see after 20 years, how it will affect their mental and physical health. So mindful eating practice, no phone, no TV, no arguments, no problem discussion if you're eating with people, no business talk while you're eating, none of these things while we are eating. Just connect to the divine, radiate that vibration of purity and power in the food. Silence eating. As far as possible, silent while eating. Or if you're with people, just happy, light conversations. Just remembering whatever we are talking, the food is absorbing it. And what the food is absorbing is going to become my state of mind and my state of the body. So we are not going to discuss politics while eating, problems while eating, COVID while eating. All this cannot be discussed with the food.
It's wonderful. The more I listen to you, the more I think of, the importance of living in the moment, teaching our young children, because of things that we see like anxiety and depression, that the more opportunity they have to have those positive vibrations within themselves and understand them in that moment, the impact that will have on their positive outlook during the day, their mental health going forward. I mean, they're wonderful, wonderful thoughts, and you put them together so eloquently, so beautifully, and they're you can't argue with them. They're fundamental, really, to who we are, and our spiritual health. Sister, we can have this conversation could go on for a long time. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. In Canada right now, we're having a very difficult time, I think, collectively, our collective spirituality. And the reason for that is that, recently there were a mass grave was found of 215 young children in the residential school system in Kamloops, British Columbia, and we had another situation just recently with a Muslim family that was senselessly killed. 5 people were struck by a 20-year-old young man who had hatred in his heart, and 4 of the individuals died. They were buried today here. We're going through a very difficult time in our society, whether it's Indigenous, our different races, and people that have this anger, and I don't know if it's attributable to COVID or how do you reconcile this wanting to have the positive vibrations and having to deal with these difficult situations as a community? How do we go about healing? What advice could you give us from your perspective?
Again, start practicing some of these lifestyle habits. Like when there is an issue with the body and we go to a doctor, what's the first thing they will check? They will say, what's your diet? First thing, they will talk to us about our diet. Second, they will ask us, what about your exercise? Third, sleep cycle. 3 things they will ask us about our body, and they will make some certain modifications there and say, don't eat this, exercise like this, and sleep like this. The body has its power to heal itself. We actually don't need any medicines, the body has the power to heal itself. But why we need medication? Because we are not using the natural healing method. So then we prefer to quickly take a medicine and that's it. Finish off the symptom, finish off that pain, finish off the fever. Actually, that's not the way. That's not how it used to be in the ancient culture. People used to change their lifestyle. If they were not well, they would fast for a couple of days. Just fasting, which means not stuffing the body with more and more food, but allowing the body to detoxify, release all the toxins that's accumulated. Healing will start happening. Now, similar we need to do with the mind. Why all this hatred? Why all this violence? Why all this aggression? We really can't blame only COVID. COVID situation is not the only reason for it. It is that overeating of content. If the movies I watch, if the media handles I watch, if they have a lot of violence there, I'm just consuming and consuming and consuming. People are talking about binge watching. They sit and complete one whole series of 10 episodes, 12 episodes on a Sunday, and then they will talk to others about it. Oh, I finished the complete series, and the other person feels left out, and they say, okay, then I also have to put it on my diary for next Sunday. We are comparing with each other as to how much we are eating for the mind. Then the games that we are playing, the video games that we are playing, they are also somewhere programmed to winning over the other one. That is victory, that is success, putting the other person down. So we think we're playing a game. But when our mind and intellect is engaged in the game, then the thing that is going to happen is that we are getting programmed here in the system. It's my thinking, my intellect, my conditioning, my programming of the mind is happening when I'm playing the game. Now we have little kids playing these kind of games. So it's in their own childish ways, but they're playing games which has violence. And they are being taught, if you hit the other person and the other person falls down, you gain points. You see what conditioning is happening of a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old child. Now it looks very harmless. Yeah, it's just a game. It's not a game. It's a personality. It is an emotional conditioning that has started happening. So it's not a game. So we need to take care. We need to start detoxifying the mind. Very important. Start detoxifying the mind. Like for the body, we go on a fast. We don't eat for one day. We just live on little water, lemon water, cleanse the body. Healing starts happening. Just for a couple of days, experiment first. Stop consuming all this kind of content. Please just have mercy. I say have mercy on the self. Don't consume this kind of content because you don't know how that content impacts our mind. So detoxify the mind and then add a little healthy content every day. So just not watching violence and hatred is not enough. Then add a content of compassion, of respect. Study your religion properly. Each one of us needs to study our religion because our religion, no religion on this planet will talk of hatred and violence. Every religion has talked about love, compassion, respect, and unity. Every religion has taught about world as a family. Every religion. So when every religion has talked that, when every religion has taught me that, then I am supposed to live my religion. So study your own religion. Go into the depth of studying your religion. In Hindi, it's a very beautiful word, dharam. Dharam means religion. But actually what the word dharam means, the duty of the soul, the quality of the soul. So every religion has taught us our qualities. Study the religion. Absorb it every day. Every day, let it go into it. We'll start becoming that way.
So sister, and that's a perfect lead into the question, meditation and yoga, how are those, is that part of the study? And how do we go about incorporating that as part of our daily ritual?
Yes. So Raj Yoga meditation that we practice at the Brahma Kumaris is a combination of two things, spiritual study and meditation. So spiritual study is emotional diet and meditation is exercise for the mind. And when these two things are taken care of, we sleep well. So when three things are taken care of, emotional health will be taken care of. So Raj Yoga meditation means three powers: power of affirmation, power of visualization, power of experience. When we create a thought and repeat a high vibrational, powerful, positive thought. It's an affirmation. Let's say I take a simple affirmation. I am a powerful being. I am a powerful being, which means I will respond right to every situation today. So I take that thought, visualize I am a peaceful being, I'm a powerful being, and then I visualize my day, how I will respond to people, how I will meet that same person who doesn't behave right with me at work, but today I will respond this way. This is a preparation that's happening in the morning, and what I visualize starts getting recorded. So it's like coding of the mind. So meditation is coding. Nowadays we're teaching kids coding at a very young age. We need to teach them coding of the mind. So when we create that thought, now if I have to create an affirmation, I'm a loveful being. Love is my nature. I accept people. I forgive, I release. And that is meditation. Connecting with the self and then taking one step higher, connecting with the divine. I'm a child of God. God is the ocean of love, ocean of compassion, ocean of power. I am the child of God. So everything that belongs to God is my property because I'm the child of God. I use those powers in action. So that is meditation. Affirmation plus visualization starts getting coded, experience. The coding happens in the morning. During the day, people will press the buttons, situation will press the buttons, but the coding is already done. So the output will be respectful, compassionate, peaceful, and polite.
Amazing. Yes. So the work that I used to do with in the martial arts, we used to always speak about being the virtues that a martial artist should have. So things like courtesy, integrity, self-control, respect, indomitable spirit, all the different attributes that make a person. And in when we speak in terms of psychology, we speak about intrinsic motivational and the importance of intrinsic motivation and how you manifest who you are to people on the outside and how you can attract positive energy by giving positive energy. But we know that in the world, there are many people that thrive on taking that energy away from you. And so you have to be very cognizant of those types of situations. So how do you handle situations where, and you started saying this before, when people will say something negative to you or speak badly about another person or want to fill your mind with hate because of something that they saw and you have mutual friends? How do you deal with those influences in your life, or the people that try to influence your life? How do you handle those? And can you give us some advice as to how to deal with that?
It's same like COVID. Someone can have COVID around you, and we wouldn't know that they have COVID. Maybe they also don't know that they have COVID. But I need to remember I have to wear my mask, I have to keep the distancing, and I have to wash my hands. If I don't do these three things, only then I will have that virus. If I do, I'm safe. Even if I am surrounded by people who have the virus, I can protect myself, wear my mask, keep my distance, and wash my hands. We learned it at a physical level. Now we do the same thing at an emotional level. I can't change people around me. That's not our priority in life. That's what we try to do, actually, try to change people. We can't change people. We need to wear the mask, which means I protect my mind and intellect with that spiritual study in the morning. That's my huge protection. That's my huge protection. And then I keep my distancing. Now here, distancing is not physical, that I need to be away in another room. Distancing is vibrational. If someone is at a lower vibrational energy of hate, of pain, of hurt, they actually need healing. They need healing. But if I energize myself on a daily basis and I vibrate at a frequency of compassion, gratitude, love, then there is a vibrational distancing. Now, in terms of energy never travels from lower to higher. Energy always travels from higher to lower. So if you're at a higher vibrational energy, lower vibrations can never influence you. It's not possible. But yes, what is possible is your vibrations will start healing them. They will start healing them. So when we take care of our mind, we are actually not taking care of one person. We need to remember our vibrations are going to heal so many people. Just sitting in your office and you vibrating at a higher frequency, you're radiating that vibration to your office. You don't know who is going to go and touch, who is going to get healed today. This is all invisible, and it's invisible. But when I am radiating with anger and hatred, that also reaches to people. So we need to take care of our own self. We can't blame the world. We can't blame the world and say, oh, it was because of my friend. Oh, it was because of my spouse. No blaming the world. People can cheat us, betray us, physically also abuse us. Somebody can hit me physically. I'll tell you, there was a sister who came to the center. She was 35 years old. She's 35 years old now. She was abused when she was 5 years old. Again, something which a lot of people have gone through in their life. For 30 years, she held that on her mind. She was not able to respect people, not trust people. She didn't have faith in relationships. She held it against her parents. All that emotional baggage that was there, which we believe is so natural to feel. We feel it's natural to feel like that. And when she understood spiritual principles, emotional power that she had, and she just came up to me one day and she said, what that person did was horrible, but he only abused my body, no? He only abused my body once. What did I do to myself? I emotionally abused myself for 30 years. So who's made the bigger mistake? I have made. I forgive myself today first, and I forgive that person, and I'm going to release all this today from my... And she just changed completely just with one realization. So we can't live like a victim, because that will only harm us. It's a past, we have to release it and move forward. So just energize and build up your emotional immunity. Build up your emotional immunity on a daily basis. You can be amongst everybody and be untouched by their vibrations and influence, but you can be an influence on all of them. You will influence doesn't always have to come from a negative vibration to us. Influence will go from our pure and positive vibration to them. That's a more easier influence, actually.
That's wonderful. While you were speaking, I was thinking that, when you're on an airplane, they always tell you to put on your mask before helping your child or helping someone in need of help, right? So you have to have that positive vibration. You have to look after yourself. Sister, it's wonderful to listen to. When we knew that we had a vaccine that was going to help us with COVID-19, and we're starting to see here in Canada, our patios are opening, people are out in the sun, they're enjoying their days again. We're starting to get back to normal life. I started saying that the mental health is going to continue as an issue long after COVID-19 is resolved. And I've always said that there's no vaccine for mental illness. That has to come from things like the things that you're speaking about, and they've got to come from within. So listening to you, you're providing us with the remedy, I believe, for helping individuals without, because there isn't going to be a vaccine. There's not a magic pill that's going to make mental health come back to us. It's going to take the kind of things that you're talking about, and exercising the mind and providing it with the spiritual food, the nutrients that it needs to be able to energize and be able to give those positive vibrations. Fascinating topic that you're speaking about, and that you're bringing forward. And I know that it's going to resound with a lot of people here in Canada, not just people that are of South Asian origin. There are a lot of people that look for guidance. They look for solutions that make them stronger, their minds clearer, more focused. And there certainly is a lot of knowledge and a lot of wealth in teaching the spirituality and using it as part of helping individuals. I wanted to just, because my focus in my work is addiction, not just mental health, but addiction as well. From the standpoint of the things that we've spoken about so far, an addict typically will use a substance or a process, because with the games or with gambling, they will use a substance or a process to self-medicate or self-heal a problem. And fundamentally, that's wrong. But could you maybe discuss a little bit about that as well?
when we use any substance or any process or any method, which is an addiction means a dependency. So addiction means dependency, and any dependency will deplete the emotional health. And if that dependency is a substance which is not good for the body, then it's also going to affect my physical health. So addiction is a dependency, which means my mind and my body now becomes dependent on it. And which means I will need more and more and more of it. So every time I'm dependent, not just alcohol or drugs or smoking or technology, even saying something as simple as, I cannot do without my morning cup of coffee. Never say this line. The line is not correct. You are taking and programming your mind towards a dependency. Have your morning cup of coffee, but have it like a master of your mind and body. I'm choosing to have my morning cup of coffee. Never say, I cannot live without, because then you're teaching your mind that yes, I am dependent on this coffee. If I don't get coffee, I get troubled. So for nothing in this world, nothing, ever say, I cannot live without. That line is actually the subtle programming of dependency that starts. Then of course it goes to deeper levels of addiction, but addiction also healing. We're not going to just distract ourselves from. Addiction means that my mind was in some kind of a pain. Sometimes we're aware of the pain, sometimes we're not aware of the pain. And the mind is looking for some stimulant to make me feel good. I only want to feel good for some time. So it could be a substance, it could be technology. Somebody will say, I need to go shopping when I'm stressed. So that also becomes like an addiction. It's distracting my mind from my emotional issues and allowing the mind to be feeling good and happy by doing what I get addicted to. So it's also the same that we do with the body. Suppose I had a toothache and I just switch on a movie and I start watching. Sometimes for the next couple of hours, I feel the tooth is not paining anymore because the mind has shifted from sensing this pain. It has got engaged into that movie that I'm watching. And when I switch off the movie, I realize, oh, my tooth is still hurting because now the mind has again gone back to sensing the pain. Same thing with the mind problem. When the mind is in pain, we're taking it towards movies, towards substances, towards people. Sometimes we get addicted to people. I have to meet this person to feel good. If I don't meet the person, people are doing all kinds of things, even in rejections in relationships, because they get so dependent on another human being. We have children, youth, they write to us, I don't feel like living anymore because I was rejected in this relationship. So dependency is also on people. So it's all a sign that there is something which needs healing. But instead of healing it, I'm looking at all the possible distractions which can make me feel good. But again, when we go back to spiritual healing and meditation, at the Brahma Kumaris, this study has been done in India with the government of India, where meditation and spiritual principles with those who want to go through a process of de-addiction, of those who were years and years addicted to tobacco, alcohol, smoking, and they've got 70% result. 70% have not gone back to it ever. And the other 30% who have gone is because they did not continue that spiritual study. So if I don't continue the healing method, my old pattern of thinking can take me back to it. For some people, it doesn't take them back just by willpower. But that healing is needed. And also, like you were sharing about children, I just had a thought that we've been practicing in India. Taking care of emotional and mental health from childhood is very important because a lot of things happen during childhood which people can hold on to for very long, and then that shifts to an addiction or a mental health issue. So taking care of emotional health principles in schools, making meditation and yoga a way of being at school, mindfulness practiced in school. And the seed of this can be sown when the child is in the womb of the mother. Those 9 months are extremely powerful. For many decades, we have only focused on those 9 months as the health of the body of the baby. So we focus on the physical health of the child that is getting created in the womb. but the emotional health of the child is also getting created in the womb. In Hindi is a very powerful word, Garab Sanskar. Garab means womb and Sanskar means personality. So personality that gets created in the womb. So in the womb, the soul in the womb can catch the thoughts, the vibrations, the words, everything that the parent watches, reads, listens, eats, drinks, which means everything that is influencing the emotional health of the parent is affecting the emotional health of the child. If the parent, the mother, takes care during those 9 months, they won't have to take much care in the rest of their life, because it's the programming that has happened right during those 9 months, has a deep impact on the personality for the rest of their life.
I'm smiling, sister, because I often use the analogy here when I speak to doctors that, you know, when someone decides to get married, they're forced to take classes because, you know, you're entering a relationship, you need to have certain skills that you're not used to. But we don't have courses for someone that decides they want to have a child. And as a result of that, those 9 months is a lost opportunity. So I couldn't agree with you more. And there's many doctors here that will agree with you as well of the importance of looking after the child in the womb. And hopefully young people that are watching this are going to take this into account when they're nurturing their unborn child, and because it is so important both for the father and the mother. There's another, I know that I've taken so much of your time, and I can't tell you how appreciative I am of this. But I watched one of your videos, and you used an analogy that I'd like you to describe for our viewers as well, because I think it really demonstrates what a lot of us do that we shouldn't do, that we should be more self-reflective. And that's that beautiful expression in Hindi about reflection in the mirror. If you could describe that for our viewers, I think that's a wonderful concept, and I'd love to hear it again from you, if you don't mind.
It's a very beautiful poem by a very renowned poet in India, and the couplet is, "Dhool thi chehre par, hum aina saaf karte rahe." So dhool thi chehre means the stain was on my face. The stain was on my face. But when I looked in the mirror, I thought the stain was on the mirror, and so I tried to clean the mirror. I had to just look at myself, and it was so easy to remove that dust or that stain. But we were trying to clean the mirror. That's what we're doing today. The hurt, the pain, the emotional disturbance is here. It's on my face, which means it's inside me. But we're trying to change the world. We want to resolve every issue in the world, which means we're trying to clean the mirror. It is the inner world which creates the outer world. Again, a Hindi spiritual equation. Sankalp se Srishti. Sankalp is thought, Srishti is the world. Our thoughts create our world. If we just take care of the thoughts, the world will be taken care of. But if we try to finish mental health issues, addictions, corruption, climate change, physical disease, relationship conflict, if we try to resolve all these outside, it's like cleaning the mirror. Cleaning the mirror, not changing your thoughts. Just do this healing, all these things will start falling into place. They will just automatically start falling into place. This is the seed of our life. This is the seed, and the rest is our tree of life. We work very hard on the tree of life. We don't water the seed. Nourish your seed, this seed, every morning. The tree of life and the tree of the world will be healthy always. Just water the seed every morning.
It's wonderful. I have to, you brought another, something else to mind. There's a gentleman here, he's a psychiatrist. His name is Dr. Norman Deutsch. I've taken a liking to his work. It's the neuroplasticity of the brain. And he looks at how the brain can rewire itself as a result of working with the brain, of teaching it new ways and rewiring it. And he speaks of it taking 50 months basically to rewire a brain, to teach it to bypass any damage that's been done as a result of an addiction or an injury. Just your thought, based on what you're saying and the importance of the process, the vibrations in the mind, how do you reconcile the old ancient philosophies that you're speaking so eloquently about with the science that is talking about neuroplasticity? Are they contradictory, or do you think they actually...
No, absolutely the same thing. Absolutely the same thing. If we look at it in the outer world, right now I'm sitting here, this is my laptop. So I am operating the laptop. And now if this laptop was connected to a machine, so I would give the instruction to the computer will process that, and the instruction will go to the machine, and the machine will play its part. So it's three things: the operator, that is a human being, then the computer, and then the machine. Same thing is here. This body is the machine. This body is that machine. The brain is that computer. The brain is the computer. The operator is the soul, the mind. That's the operator, the soul, the mind. So the soul, the mind has to create some changes, the way of thinking, the emotions, the feelings. And when that operator will change what they are coding, the instruction going to the computer will change, which means the message that I'm sending to the brain will change. Then the brain patterns will start changing. And then obviously the instruction that is going to the body will change. So, but we cannot do it at the level of the brain, which means you can't change the things in the computer without the operator changing the things in the computer. So to change the wiring of the brain, I have to change my way of thinking and feeling. I have to change my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions. That will change the wiring of the brain, and that will change the habits of my body. So it's absolutely connected. But we have to focus on the mind. We'll go to the brain, we'll go to the body. So it's those three steps there.
Yes. And every time you give me a concept like that, I feel that we peeled another layer from the onion, and then there's another one that appears, and I would like to peel that back, but I can't take any more of your time in good conscience. This has been absolutely wonderful, and I hope we have the opportunity to continue our dialogue this way, but one day meet in person. I can tell just having watched you on video how charismatic you are, how you exude the very vibrations that you talk about. They come out in you, and I think that's what is so attractive to someone who's thirsting for knowledge. And I'm sure a lot of people that are going to be watching this are going to want to watch more and listen to more of your words. So we're going to continue hopefully this conversation on motivation, because I think motivation is a fundamental factor that needs to be addressed as well. Because again, what you were saying just now in terms of how the machine and the operator and those pieces, the importance of how they're integrated. But again, sister, God bless you for the work that you do. I know how difficult it is, because I receive letters every day from people that are suffering, whether it's an eating disorder, a mental health issue, having lost a child to suicide or to overdoses. It weighs heavily upon you. And if I'm getting a few letters every day, you must be getting thousands of letters. And the prayers and the positive energy that you put out from where you are is felt all over the world with the people that listen and follow you. So I wish you good health, continued excellent mental health as well. And until we speak or meet, I pray for you, and I continue to thank you for the work that you do for the people of the world, and in particular my province, the province of Ontario.
Thank you so much. And I'll just like to share that in Canada, there are Raj Yoga meditation centers. And if anyone who's watching this program, first and foremost, we would like to invite you to the meditation center in Canada. So we would love to have you at this center, since you are doing such beautiful work, taking care of minds of people, healing the minds of people. It's very important. It's like if I have to heal the body, I can be diseased and yet heal bodies, So I could be on medication and yet I could operate on somebody. But to heal the minds of people, I need to take care of the mind. Because otherwise, like you said, when we listen to people, when we read their emails, our mind starts creating the same pain. Because we start getting very engaged in what we are reading or when we are talking to people. But then we don't want that over a period of time that should take a toll on our mind, which means, so we have to practice that emotionally. We are compassionate, but we are detached. Compassion with detachment will then allow us to radiate that vibrations of compassion. We can either consume pain or we can radiate compassion. Both the things don't happen at the same time. So we understand pain but don't consume pain. Understand pain and radiate compassion. So for that, we invite you to the meditation center. We would love to have you there at the meditation centers that we have in Toronto, a lot of places I know. Montreal, Erica is here, he's in Montreal. So you please come to the center, and each one who's watching this program today, please feel free to just call, email, or walk in to any of the Brahma Kumaris Rajyog meditation centers. Meditation is taught to us there, and sisters and brothers are always available to teach us, and there's never a cost attached. There's no cost attached to all that we learn at the meditation centers. So all that we have to do is take out little time, just a little time, walk in and learn it and start experimenting. You will just feel most of the issues of your life will start resolving. Actually, almost all, but I will still say most of the issues will get resolved if you start taking care of the mind. So those centers are your home. Walk in, you have a very beautiful family waiting for you. Just come there, learn, and start watching the miracles happening. Miracles in the sense, it's not miracle, it's miracle with the inner mind, which we create just when we start working with the mind.
Yes. Beautifully said, sister. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Let's take a few minutes to connect to ourselves and to experience the power of pure, powerful thoughts and vibrations. Visualize yourself here, the energy center, and gently see yourself like a tiny point of light. This is the energy which is the master of this body, the energy which thinks, feels. So meditation means we create a thought, we visualize it, and we hold on to that visual and we start experiencing it. So gently we will do it right now. Create a vision here, a shining star, a tiny point of light. And as I share a few thoughts with you, take these thoughts with yourself. You can gently repeat them. But repeat means to create that thought, see the visual, and start feeling the energy. I am a divine being, pure and powerful energy. I am the creator of my every thought, feeling, word and behavior. I am the master of this body. Every thought I create radiates to every cell of my body. Visualize this. The vibration from here radiating to every cell of the body. I am peaceful, powerful being. Vibrations of peace, healing energy radiates to every cell of my body. My vibrations radiate out into the world. They reach people. Visualize energy from me reaches people, radiates into the environment. I, the creator of pure, peaceful, loveful energy. Vibrate this energy to my body, to people, and to the world. My body is healed. My relationships are in harmony. The environment is peaceful. I am in yoga with my body, with people, and with the world. I am child of the Supreme Power, the Divine Power, the ocean of purity, the Almighty Authority, the ocean of love. God loves me unconditionally, accepts me unconditionally. Visualize above you a tiny point of light, but an ocean of powers. And the vibrations from the Divine Being radiating and filling me, the soul, like the sun's energy, heals my body. God's power and energy heals the soul. God's power, like an energy field, like a laser beam, filling into me, the soul. And this healing energy from me radiates to my body and to the world. I am an instrument of God, an instrument to create a beautiful world. With every thought I create, every word I speak, and my every behavior, I am creating happiness, health, harmony, and heaven on earth, a beautiful world. I am the master. I choose. I create. I manifest. Meditation is a very simple method of connecting and emerging our original nature of peace, love, and happiness, and experiencing a very personal relationship with the source of all powers, the source of knowledge, love, and purity. To begin this journey of shifting from a life of low vibrations, painful energy, and hurt, to shifting to a divine energy, let's learn meditation. To learn meditation, please connect to the Raj Yoga meditation centers in your city. The address is here for all of you. And the following Saturday, that is 26th June, the Raj Yoga meditation course is for everybody online. Saturday, 26th June, 10 a.m. Details are here on the screen. Very simple, just an hour, but it can create a shift within us, a shift that does not just benefit us, but a shift which makes us powerful, pure, peaceful, and clean within, and then radiate that clean vibrations to everyone and to the world. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Sister Shivani and Minister Tibolo. What a mind-stimulating session. Listening to the conversation, we can all agree that in yoga and meditation, those challenged by mental health and addictions have a great friend and resource. As Sister Shivani so effectively explained, real mental well-being comes only when you take care of both your body and mind. You cannot treat one without the other for positive results. She gave us enough reasons to consider alternate options such as plant-based diet, sattvic approach to daily human activity, including eating and earning money, power of positive affirmation, visualization and experience, and other such techniques to create a happier individual and so a better world. Our thanks also to Minister Tibolo for the exceptional way you brought out those aspects during the interaction. On behalf of CIF and the viewers, I want to thank you both for a lively conversation that explored the possibility of a happier world by applying yoga and meditation techniques. A very special thank you to our High Commissioner, His Excellency Ajay Baseria, Consul General Shrimati Apurva Srivastava, Sister Mohani, Brother Eric, Sister Savi, Sister Shobhana from Brahma Kumaris, and Y Media for the support. And thank you all for tuning in. Friends, help us spread this message even further by sharing this event with your family and friends. Good night, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. Namaste.